Grand rising, everybody. It's your boy Grayson. Your neighborhood says that self awareness implementation specialist. And we're coming with you today with another episode, or more so, we call it an inception of UNC that's unifying the
Yes, sir.
nomadic community. We are here to bring awareness to you to understand the correct perception of who we are in not only society, but who we are within our family. I have my co facilitator here with me, my brother, um, Jay Dunlap of Visionaries Inc. Mentoring and Life Coaching. Um, we're going to just jump straight into it today. We're both glad that God has allowed us to be on this platform to not only share our experiences, but share different tools and resources to help you become the better man that you can be. Again, this platform is for all males. There's no creed, color, or race. But our number one priority is the black man because we are the most endangered species. So, and we also open up to women also, because you may have a brother, a son, a spouse, a cousin, an uncle, or someone that you will be able to assist them with the information that you get from us to help them become better in life. With that being said, today we are dealing with the stressors and triggers of black men.
Yes, yes,
That's a
yes.
lot within
It's a lot.
itself.
Yes,
Stressors and triggers. And we all know that we all got them. They come in different shape, forms, and fashions. Um, but we do understand that whatever your trigger or your stress is, it's only a surface issue. So we have to learn how to confront the real issue and get down to the root of the thing. And getting to the root means having a real conversation with yourself. And in saying that, just a moment of transparency. But even before we got ready with the show this morning, um, my brother, you know what I'm saying, he came to me, he was letting me know how even I sometimes get in such a rush and become so busy trying to do things that sometimes we neglect our own self and our own mental health. Um, I
that's
now
right.
have two jobs. I'm dealing with a couple of different. I got a coaching platform, a mentoring platform that I'm in. Then we have Unc. Then I got my fragrance line coming out at the end of this month. It's a lot, and sometimes we become so busy doing things that we forget about who we are, and that really causes stress and other triggers. Um, I'm glad that I have a not only do I have an accountability partner, but I have a space and a place where I don't have to look like I got it all together. With my brother, there's a no judgment zone, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't have to be Superman. And we all as men need a space and a place where we ain't got to be the Superman all the time. You ain't got to be the Superman all the
That's
time.
right.
And that was a hard truth for me today. Brett, I thank you for pulling my coattail. I thank you.
I felt that.
I
I
really
felt
thank
it.
you
I
for
felt I was getting a little. I felt I was getting a little stink eye.
that. Yeah. See, it's
Yes, yes.
called. Um,
But see,
I
that's
I
the.
appreciate
Let
you,
me say
bro.
one thing. That's the thing of us understanding what it means to be in each other's lives. We have to be gifts to one another. God created us as gifts, and I can't allow to see my brother because when you hurt, I hurt.
Right.
When you're hurt inside, I can feel it. I'm so connected in my prayer and my connection with God that He allows me to feel the pain of my brothers when they come to me and they speaking and they moving. I can feel that energy coming off like I need a break. And somebody has to be that vessel in your life to love you enough
Right.
to say to you, brother, slow down, take it easy. Everything's going to flow because God, everything that He
Mhm.
allows us to give out, He's cultivating it, He's nurturing it. So we're going to be the examples that they see. I'm not no better than you. You're no better than me. We're all in it together as a unity to create something that's stronger and beyond what we can grasp. And that's something that helps
Right.
me
You're
daily.
definitely right about that.
And that's something that I'm about.
Mm.
So we're gonna get
Good,
back
bro.
on
That's
the
definitely
stresses
good.
and
Yes, right back at you. How stress affects us as black men. One thing is for certain, and two things is for sure. We do understand that when we change the way that we look at things, then the things that you look at can change. How we viewing stress in our life. Um, we as black men, we experience a higher level of not only this stress, but chronic stress and life stressors, and also discrimination due to the oppressive social and economic conditions that we have endured as
yeah,
a people. And one of the main factors of those is trauma, lasting effect, not only us as persons, but our mental well-being too. Um, we understand that trauma, which is a disturbance or a disturbing or unwanted experience. Everybody has experienced a certain percentage or a certain degree of trauma in their life. But if you really look at it, bro, um, if you look back on our childhood, we experienced many different things that exposed us to different types of trauma, especially as a black man
yeah,
growing up in America. We have physical abuse, sexual abuse. We done been in real bad accidents or had injuries. We had to deal with the death of a loved one. And, we fought a lot domestic abuse. And then we also had where, even if it wasn't physical, it was verbal, which caused a lot of emotional abuse. And not only that, bro, how many of us have witnessed trauma happening to somebody else? That's something that we got to deal with in our heads. You know what I'm saying? That image of your boy getting killed, or you seeing such and such get beat to death. That image is stuck in our head, and that's causing us a lot of trauma long term that we have to deal with our own mental. And as I'm saying that, I'm understanding that we as men, we really externalize our stress in different ways. A lot of times when we are externalizing the stress that we have, we either engaging in acts of aggression or unhealthy coping behaviors like excessive alcohol and drug use. I'm a living witness to that. And even with that, with the aggression and the alcohol and drug use, it can lead to other things. You can have health problems, um, heart problems. I'm telling you, the list is really infinite. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave y'all with five of the biggest stresses that we have as black men. And once I give those, my brother's going to come behind me. He's going to give us some coping skills to help us cope with the issues that we have, some coping mechanisms. And what I've learned is that, and this is from my experience, yours might not even make the list. But overall, the number one stress of a black man is finances. Finances will stress you the ham and cheese out. Do you hear me? Not having enough, lacking, not knowing. And the finance affects us in all of our relationship aspects. Because Rudy Ray Moore said it best. He said, "Romance without finance is a damn nuisance." Now that's what he said, and I find that to be so true. So finances is the number one that we actually have to deal with and learn how to cope with our finances. And a lot of that deals with how you perceive or how you view your finances. And that's a self talk that you have to have with yourself. And then we have family and relationship that causes stress. Your spouse call you stress. Your children call you stress. Your brother, your mama, your cousin. Different family relationships causes us stress too. And even to the degree of where we may be within that relationship and how we are managing that relationship. As a black man, we have a lot of different stresses that really bring us to a understanding of not only who we are but what we're capable of. That brings us to the next one. We have job stability. When you ain't got no job or when your job is on the line, that causes us to be in a state of uncertainty. We don't do good when we uncertain about what our future is or what the next day may bring. It's real hard being in an uncertain season of your life. The next thing we have is a lot of times stress you out. You live in a fast paced life. Your life is going too fast, fast paced life. And thank you, my brother, for pointing that out to me. How to slow down and break it back down to second and get out of fifth gear on the secondary road. Ain't even on the highway. We ain't already in fifth gear. We on the secondary road. Um, and the last thing that we're going to talk about today, a big trigger is health. It will stress you out when you notice something in your body is not right. We don't listen to our bodies. We don't listen to our bodies. And not knowing actually what's going on within our body can cause us stress too. One of the biggest things we have to remember that we got to be able to deal in order to heal. And as we're talking about the health, there's different symptoms of stress. I'm going to give you two different types. We have psychological stress and physical stress. And some of the physical symptoms that we have, and everything ties back into your health. We have chest pains, pounding heart, blood pressure, and even headaches. How many of us just we get so in a rut that your head just start hurting for no reason. You got a headache, or you're having heart palpitations, somebody gets you so upset that you shortness of breath. These are all key symptoms to let you know that something is not right. Something is not right. They're letting us know, and we understand that stress is the biggest killer of the black man. It's the silent killer. Now it's the big, but it's the silent killer because it goes so undiagnosed or dealt with that by the time we realize that we don't had a massive heart attack, we done had a stroke, something detrimental has already happened. Then that brings us to the psychological stress. Psychological stress symptoms are you can be in a depressed state, um, withdrawal from people, different mood swings. And also, now, bro, I mean, let me know if I'm right or wrong. It can also increase or diminish your sex drive. Some want more, some want less.
Correct.
Cause
Most
us
of the
to
time it's
worry.
less.
Right, right. But then Right. It's less. But then a lot of people they'll be promiscuous with it because they stressing and go smash this and go smash that, if the truth be told. We
The
have
more is the
yep,
insecurity.
okay,
The
go ahead.
more is the insecurities that we gravitate towards as men because we're not dealing with our issues. And that's part of
Bingo.
this platform, address the issues, but we're not gravitating to an insecure place because being overly sexual, active, and being promiscuous and lustful is a place of insecurity within ourselves as men. And once we figure that out, we can deal with relationships better because that's not when you get your feelings hurt in a relationship, that shouldn't be your go to. And usually that's our
Right.
go to.
Right. Perfectly said. And then another physical stress we have is anger, which is one of the emotions that we don't mind sharing and showing you as men. And sometimes it's either anger or a decreased control of your anger. And that also increases in the use of alcohol and drugs because we're trying to find to cope, trying to find a way to escape. But that's never the answer. Um, we be living with a lot of past regrets, Brett, that really stress us out. And there's nothing that we can really change from the past. We have to live in the present and look to the future. There's nothing that you can change in the past. Um, a lot of our stress responses be either, and I know you probably heard this before, it's either fight or flight. When we faced with a lot of
Mhm.
stressful situations, our body release different hormones that promote us to either stay and confront the problem or run away and avoid it. It's one of the two. It's always one of the two. It's always one of the two. But what we are doing here, as I turn over to my brother to give us some coping mechanism skills to help us out with those stresses, what we offer is talk therapy, y'all. We provide an opportunity to discuss feelings and emotions because it takes a lot for a black man to express his emotions. So if you have somebody that's trying to open up to you, give them your full undivided attention. You never know how much that'll go for them because we don't open up that often. But we're always looking for a opportunity to express ourselves and be vulnerable if we are allowed that.
Very true.
If we are
Very true.
allowed that. Yes. But those are the stressors, and my brother Jay's gonna come back with some coping mechanism to help us. We growing, y'all. We going and growing. It's all about growth and development.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna say good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Praying everybody's good. We're gonna touch on. I like to jump into the anger part because a lot of times I think we as men we react and you don't even realize that you're reacting off of anger because we're so prone to and conditioned to that being the way to communicate. So I
Right.
was laughing the other with my wife when we was conversating, and she had asked me, "Well, why are you yelling?" And the reality is, I don't know. You have so much stuff that you've been through in your life that you really don't know why you're hollering, why you're so angry, why you're so frustrated. Because if you look into the situation, it doesn't warrant to that. It doesn't warrant that. So creating
Right.
something that's already inside of you, that's a trigger. And when he was talking about triggers, that's where
Mm,
anger stems is a lot of your childhood realities, and something goes on within your life or within your family, and it triggers you to react in a negative manner because that's all you've been taught. You grew up, and
mm.
this is me vulnerable. I grew up in a household that had a lot of chaos with my behavior, with my mother reaction to my behavior, to my mother and my stepfather's communication and their interaction. But we must all understand that all these different elements of communication was taught to us in a negative manner. So now this is what we portray when we grow up and we see something that we dislike, and now we react the same way, never
Right.
understanding that we haven't been taught better. We haven't been taught properly. So coming into a place where calming down, a solution for anger is stepping back, taking a step back, telling your partner, listen, we can talk about this later. I feel the conversation is elevating. I need a moment. Even if you got to walk out the door, even if you got to pull over in your car, you're having a disagreement, get out the car and take a walk. Like I said, I'm more of an example on the screen because I'm learning and using all these techniques within myself. Because as a big black man, my mother taught me, she said, smile more. She said, because as a big black man, you're going to be intimidating to people. So try to always smile to ease their comfort into dealing with you better. So I have to interject that into my life. I have to walk away. I have to take a breath, have to take a minute, and we may not even need to address it at that moment. That's a very
Mhm.
good skill that I've learned and was able to operate in with my wife because that's something that she may do at times. She may not address it at the moment, but the next day she can come to me in a calmer manner. She's not mad or upset about it. And she taught me that with our kids. When my son used to get to me and rub me, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Give it time. Revisit the conversation, and he gets the message better. No one gets your message when you're screaming and hollering and you're irate. So when I
Right.
calm down and now I'm speaking from a place of love and concern, it's better receptive than what it would be with me being angry.
Right.
To go from anger into you said something about financing, and I think
Mhm.
finance, job stability pretty much works together. Um, like in this situation, learning how to stop and take a breath. Not jump into the next thing you want to say without taking a breath, moving forward. And like I said, this is going to be a platform form of examples. When you watch us, you're going to be able to take in, like my brother started off talking about our first communication this morning. This is how it's going to be because we're a bunch of learners. God created
Mhm.
us to learn until the day we leave this world. You're never going to have it all together. And that's what we have to tell ourselves as men. We think we're supposed to have it together, and we're not. It's impossible for you to have all the answers. It's impossible for you to have everything together. But as you learn and grow and elevate and constantly willing to learn and take in information,
Mhm.
you're better able to deal with situations. It calls us to be less intense with our communication with
Right.
each other. But like finances and job stability, I'm putting that together because you have to be comfortable where you at. You have to constantly be willing to seek better job opportunities. If you need to take up a trade, if you need to, there's so many different avenues now that we have. Like in Greenville, they have a platform now where you can go and get your CDLs for free. You can take different classes. I see it's a culinary class that you can take that's free. It's several different platforms in your community that you can seek out that's helping minorities get back into the workforce. After COVID, a lot of people stopped working. A lot of the object of what's going on right now is trying to help people get back in, change your career up, look for something different and something that you enjoy doing. That's the problem a lot of times. We get bogged down in jobs that we don't even like. If you don't want to be in the warehouse and you like being outside, maybe get you a lawnmower and a weed eater and go in your community and see if you can cut grass and think of ideas to take some of the stress level out of your life. Financing will come as you better improve on your mental and physical health. When you start loving and dealing with yourself and gravitating towards a peaceful state of mind, God will allow things to gravitate into your life that helps you move forward. I'm a prime example. Loving people, this is where this platform came from. Me caring about each other, I do this every single day. This is not something, and anybody that sees this that knows me, they know I'm always trying to pour something out. We're not here to take. We're not here to be stingy and everything is about us. God put us here to give. We are helpmates to every single one of us in this world. And once we realize how important we are as a person, that's it's better taken from your cohorts. People are better receptive of what you bring when you have more compassion about other people's situation. We have to stop being so judgmental and disrespectful in the way that we treat one another. Discreetness, having a safe space, that's a place of comfort. Having a safe person, that's another solution to stressors. You know, men have men caves today. We have man caves. But are you really using it for peace? Or is that somewhere that you go and drink a beer and shoot some pool and talk trash and get crazy over a sports event? Or is it a place that you go into and you sit in silence? And that 20 or 30 minutes that you in that room, nobody's bothering you. Nothing, you cutting off all type of things, all the environment that's around you, and you just taking a moment for peace. That's usually not what a man cave has been created for. It's been created to celebrate, party. I got me a little space, and this is what I want everybody to come to. My safe space personally is the bathroom. I will go in the bathroom and I will be in there for an hour, literally praying, meditating, talking to God, asking for direction and clarity. These are places that you may not have a man cave. You may not have the space. You may be just in a one bedroom or a studio apartment. But find your area where you can go to and take that time for yourself. Allow your mind to cut off all the problems that you may have: finances, job, family. Give yourself a moment. Like I said the other day, you have to give God his time. Giving yourself that time is ultimately giving God his time, because that's a one-on-one um, um, platform where y'all can communicate personally. You can say the things that you need to say, the things that you want to do, and program those things in your mind to do it daily. Mindful walks. Understanding what a mindful walk is taking a walk and don't have uh, your phone on where you're talking to somebody. Taking a mindful walk where you're just listening to the environment. You're just trying to detect what kind of bird sound that is. You're trying to smell what's coming in. You're just taking the time for just personal peace. That's a lot of ways to break down them stressors, because those, even if it's 5, 10, 20 minutes, take a walk. It's good for your physical health, but it's also one of the number one helps, one of the number one things that you can do to improve your blood pressure, your your health. Walking helps everything, not just mentally but physically. Videoing. I do this on a regular. If I'm riding, I'm bothered, I make a video. I got several videos in my phone of me just talking to myself. And I think that comes with being the only child. I enjoy me. You know, I enjoy talking and seeing later how was I feeling that day? What was I saying that day? And it's a good way for your kids, because we're not going to live forever. And that's a good way for your children and your family to know where you were, what you was feeling, how your voice tone was. Was you angry with that day? Was you bothered? A lot of things we have is anxiety. When you said your heart pounding, you start sweating. That's how I used to feel when I had to speak in public. That's anxiety. That anxiety can build up in us and it start tearing us down because we're thinking of all the negative things that we don't believe of ourselves. And that's why I believe affirmations in the morning gives you a better outlook of who you should be, what you who you are inside, not should be, but who you really are inside. Because we are good people. We are loving. We are caring. God instilled all these gifts inside of us. Society has changed the way we see ourselves. As black men, we're starting to see ourselves like they see us. And that's our cohorts. They're the oppressor. We're looking at ourselves through discrimination, and now we're seeing ourselves just like they see us. Now we're criticizing each other. Now we're attacking one another. That's something that takes us away from believing and pouring back into the vessel and the temple that we have. Heart attacks, blood pressure, taking a holistic approach. A lot of times, the medication that you get from blood pressure pills can make you feel differently inside. There's so many different side effects. I try to do more vitamins. I try to do more herbal solutions, walking, vitamins, meditation, all these things to calm you down, and you'll be surprised how better your blood pressure will be with just taking some initiative to do certain things to change your lifestyle. Being vulnerable is allowed. That's another coping mechanism. You imagine how hard it is that we walk around with that weight on our shoulders that we have to be tough, we have to be masculine, we have to be in control. Do you know how much stress that is to be in control 24 hours a day? When do you let it go? When do you allow yourself to not be the one that's dictating things, that has to be the one controlling everything? Giving your family that vulnerable side of you where they're not afraid to approach you. Family relationships can be stressful because you have your kids over here with their problem, you have your wife over here with hers, you might have a mom over here, your mother-in-law, your cousins. Everybody is pulling. When you're that power piece in the puzzle, everybody is pulling from different directions. How do you relax and be honest and vulnerable to them and say, I need a break. I'm hurting. Uh, my day wasn't good today. I can't give you that time that you need because I need some hug. I need a hug. Me and my wife has practiced now. When she walks up to me, she's tough. She's tough. And if she feels my tension, she may back off. But as I told her, never allow what you have inside of you to prevent you from our embrace, our love. Never allow my tension, because I can be rough. I can I come from North New Jersey and we had to walk around with a certain, if somebody step on your shoe, they ready to attack you. So your mind had to be on go and ready, and that masculine side had to show all the time, and it sticks with you throughout your childhood, throughout your adult life. So now I'm working on being more approachable. Being approachable is being vulnerable. Is letting down that frown on your face and smiling, embracing her, loving on her more. This is something that I vowed as a man. I can't consider myself a man if I'm not going to act in a mature manner that represents a man. We think a man means being masculine, being tough. You do what I say. That's not being a man. That's really being weak. Because when you're not willing to express love, compassion, concern, a softness, you have a softness. You come from a woman. We, we have a softness because we came from a woman. We're not willing to tap into that softness because society teaches us that you must be hard 24 hours a day. That is what is killing us. That is where the heart attacks are coming from. That is where communication breaks down at because we're not willing to allow our family, our friends, and our mate to embrace us. Journaling is a good solution. Taking out and just writing. It doesn't have to make sense. Just write. Just write what's on your mind. Being grateful. Being grateful that you made it through some things. Inspiring yourself to a way where you're feeling good at the end of the day. At the end of your day, take a pen and paper down and take notes about what you made it through. If it's alcohol, I didn't drink today. If it's drugs, I didn't get high today. Constantly remind yourselves of the accomplishments that you've made. I've, I've, I've done it all. I'm an example of every situation that I'm speaking about: drugs, alcohol, sex, addict, you name it. I'm a prime example that I don't smell like the smoke. And I've definitely been through the fire. Learning how to come out of it with the blessings and knowing who you are. And what makes it strong for me is me realizing that I am a gift. And as a gift, I want to be a gift that you smile about. I don't want to be that gift that you get and you go re-gift it and give it to somebody else because you didn't like that gift. Yeah, don't be that gift. Be that gift that makes you feel good about yourself. Be that gift when they see you, they're smiling. Don't be that gift where they looking at like, come on, bro, you could have did better than this. Learning that God made us all gifts, and that's to wrap it up on ways to deal with stress, ways to rid yourself of some of the stresses. But remember, this is not an overnight success. You have to practice these tools. You have to work at it. You have to be committed and dedicated. Just like you're committed to go to work every day to make some money to pay bills, you have to be just as committed with yourself and your well-being. I'm gonna turn it back over to my brother, and then at the end, I'm gonna do a poem um, that kind of relates to what we spoke about today. Like I said, this is something that I do. I love to write. I have several notebooks that I just write. I have such a, and that's the safe space. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but that's that safe space that I finally got into with my marriage, is because she inspires me to tap into my gifts. You have to have a surrounding that is inspiring to you, whether it's a good comment or a bad one. All of it is good because they have your betterment in their hands. They believe in you. They love you to that degree that I have to tell you the hard stuff as well as the good stuff. So it's all for the improvement of who you are. Without jealousy and judgment, why should you? Only reason you get upset is because that's something in you that refuses to allow somebody to speak life into you. Start understanding what position you play in your communication, because a lot of times it's us men. Real talk, we know a lot of time it's us because we're not willing to hear our mates. We're not willing to listen to what they're saying because we always feel like we're being attacked. Let down your guard. Pride is the killer, is one of the number one killers. Our pride and ego. Relinquish that pride and ego and learn how to be a human being and a loving, caring vessel within your family. They need you. We need you. Brothers, we need each other. We don't care what's your sexual preference. That's not our problem. We need to love one another. That's our problem. We're not loving one another. We're not being unjudgmental to one another. We criticize everything that somebody is trying to do whether it's positive when it's positive. What can you take for something positive? What you think about that, brother? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, yeah. Seems like sometimes I always doing some they pressure washing outside of the house. But I was saying that it's with loving kindness have I drawn thee. That's what God says. That's what the word of God says, that we draw people with love. And it's not enough of that in society, especially not in our innate manhood. We got to learn how to love people where they are. But with that being said, we have to know how to uplift our brother man when they down, because we don't really just talk a lot about the things that we go through, or we don't have the place and space to talk about. So I'm gonna hit you with five before I let you come out with this poem. There's five things that's gonna help us uplift our brother man. Um, the first one is breaking bread. We all know that when it's the weekend, we can cook out. Matter of fact, talking about cook out, I can't wait to get back to South Carolina, bro. So you can get on that grill. I missed it last year, but I understand that a good meal is a good space and place for us to talk. You know what I'm saying? Where we can relax and not have the hustle and bustle of life going on. We're able to really just have time to catch up, but also give our friends an opportunity, a chance to vent about what may be stressing them out. Two, show love. It's okay to show somebody that's going through some rough times some love. I mean, show love. And then we have don't be afraid to give your brother props.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to give him his props, which ain't nothing but a sincere compliment. You know what I'm saying? Let him know, because people tend to be so self-critical, especially when they are feeling depressed or sad. Just a sincere compliment at the right time can help bring somebody out the slump, help them to focus on positive things in their life instead of just the problem at hand. And this only works if it's heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? So don't be shy about hyping them up. Yeah, gaslight them to bring them out of that space and place. And a lot of times it takes a lot for us to express our emotions. So when you are talking to, or when your brother man is expressing himself, give him your full attention. Let them know that not only that you're listening, but you have an understanding of what they're saying. And the last thing is we got to learn how to start living. I mean, really living life. Sometimes a change of scenery can shake off sadness and depression. It's depending upon your friends or your brother personality. Think of ways to get them into new, fresh, new environment. Invite them to your next pickup game. You know what I'm saying? Go to the club if that's your thing. Take a boxing class. Even now, I don't know about this. I'm about to overjump myself. I don't know about skydiving. This is certain things I just ain't gonna do. But a change of scenery will show your brother man how to loosen up and let his guard down. And when he do that, he can actually speak his mind. He get a chance to be open and just speak his mind. We got to face it. We all go through something at one point in time or another. And as a culture and community, um, we don't talk about the mental state of depression enough, and thus we ain't able to even recognize it. So it causes us to just kick it to the side altogether, and you never really know what battles your brother is going through. You never know this, or what battle they fighting with, and they might not even tell you. But sometimes it's just those simple acts of kindness that can help keep them level headed, keep them from going over the edge. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Keep them level headed. Keep them level headed. But by uplifting one another, man, um, we can have the chance to ensure that there's really no regrets in the future. That there's no regrets in the future. I thank you all for tuning in today. Brother, what you got for us? What kind of poetic verses you got for us?
Okay. I'm gonna make one correction before I go into it. We have clubbed enough, brothers. I'm sorry. No judgment, but we have clubbed enough. I have clubbed till I can't club no more. We have it is time for us to get out the club and get into some office space, get in some space where we can build one another because truthfully, it deters situation. That bond that we may go out together, but we may leave that club in a fight with one another. So a lot of times when alcohol is involved, we end up not getting the benefit of that bond and that unity. A sports event, house, having women have book reading, book clubs. I'm really interested on brothers for because we have it's us, and we have to start elevating our way of thinking. Things that overtake our minds affects our living and the way we bring consciousness to one another. So this poem right here is called Elements. Um, Nerves scatter as the mind chatters. Fears of life exposes the insecurities of thought. Hidden reflection motivates past speculations that confuses the presence from the past. Struggles capture your days. Unknown nights darkens your flame. Container of contents filled with defeat. The chemical mixture of emissions erodes the formula of thy carcass. Elements of life, awareness of the world, the experience of the experiments has fueled the faculty of our consciousness. Running fallacies leaves faulty reasoning hidden beneath the myth of reality. Whimpering whispers at the dawn of day, obsessing over the pessimism while destroying the optimism of dawn, causing darkness of the moon to shine, eliminating the sunshine of the day. Extremities of fallen dreams keeps me awake at night. The doctor calls it insomnia, while stagnated regrets are the stimulus to my deprivation, depriving my core of the resilience to motivate my flesh. Decomposed souls of our oppressor is the teacher of distraction guiding our minds away from the seeds of creation as it slowly and gradually removes the consciousness of God. That's it. That's it. Blessing, my beloveds. You went out again, brother. You went out again.
I be double muted because, like I said, they're actually.
Yeah.
I be double muted. That was good, man. That really blessed me. To everyone that's watching this live, if you can like, share, and follow, we do have a special group called UNC. Look us up on Facebook. You can inbox us. Um, if you have any other further questions or you need further counseling or guidance to be coached in the area that you might not just be well aware of, we're here to assist you with any of those. We thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Grayson. Thank you all for tuning in. And we out. Thank you.
I'm Jay Dunlap, and y'all have a blessed week.